All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I want to talk about the shoulder over shoulder movement on the serve. Sounds fancy, sounds technical. We see the pros doing it. Is it something you should be focusing on your serve? Let's talk about it. One reason I wanted to make this video and cover this subject is I just put out a tennis course called Effortless Tennis. The first video in the course is called Effortless Serves. Someone bought it, enjoyed it, and wrote me a comment saying I hadn't covered the shoulder over shoulder movement. Now, why hadn't I covered this subject? Well, for me, this is something that should be happening naturally. And if you try to force this movement, if you try to make the shoulder over shoulder movement the goal, it sends you down a terrible path. So because this is something I never talk about, I thought I would do a little bit of research, and I watched quite a few videos on this subject. And quite frankly, I was just horrified at the advice these coaches were given to help you to achieve a shoulder over shoulder movement. A lot of these coaches I have respect for, but when it comes to this, I have no idea why they are thinking in this way. One of them being the shot put motion. There's quite a few guys talking about this right now. Trying to practice this kind of movement. You can get a heavy ball and you can try and heave it up into the sky. And now you're working on this shoulder over shoulder movement, right? Right? Maybe? Well, imagine doing that with the racket. Let's say I serve and I get into this position and I just push the racket up at the ball. Does that look like a motion the pros would be using? No. And the reason is very simple, that always keeps the hand on the racket above the elbow. And if we watch all of the pro serve, every one, we will see their elbow getting above their hand as they go up to the tennis ball. That's what's going to give you the speed. That's essentially lag. We think about lag on the forehand. We kind of understand how to lag the racket on the forehand. We're trying to lag it on the serve by rotating the shoulder, leading with the elbow, and having the hand and the racket follow last. If we just focus on a shoulder over shoulder movement, we don't achieve that. And I honestly don't understand how anyone could possibly serve like that or think a serve should be performed like that. Now, maybe as an exercise, if you get a heavy ball and you want to practice doing stuff like this and maybe it builds up the strength in your shoulder or whatever, cool. But just don't think this is the mechanics of a serve. So how should you develop a technically sound serve that leads to a shoulder over shoulder movement? Well, we should do it from the fundamentals of a throwing motion. If I was to throw a ball, I start with the weight on my back foot, going to pivot to my front foot, rotate my shoulders, lead with the elbow. I got to get this elbow active, and the hand will come last, and we release. Now, when we're serving, we're not going to release the racket, but we're going to do pretty much that same sequence. We're going to move our body in the same sequence we do if we're throwing something. We start with the weight on the back foot, we transfer to the front foot, we rotate the shoulders, we get the elbow lead in the way, and instead of releasing the racket, all we do is we rotate the arm. That's the last link of the coordination chain. We rotate the arm. Obviously, we don't throw. So it looks something like this. Crikey, that sun is bright. So if I'm looking for a more dynamic, more powerful serve, what am I going to do? Well, naturally, I need to involve more of my body. So I'm going to bend my legs a little bit more. For me, I want to feel like I'm loading my back leg a little bit more, turning my hips, turning my shoulders, tilting my shoulders a little bit more. Now I'm in a position where it looks like I'm going to throw upwards instead of forwards. So I've already got this shoulder tilt. And now because I'm going up to get it, I'm naturally going to have this shoulder over shoulder movement. But again, what I'm going to do is throw upwards with my elbow, get my elbow lead in the way, but now it's on this plane instead of that plane. Instead of going forwards, it's going upwards. And then because of that angle, I'm going to have to do something to get that ball to go down. I've got two options: either use my wrist to snap it down or rotate my arm, pronate, to get the ball down. For me, number two is far superior. Let's see if I got this. Let me get a little bit more dynamic. I felt like Ben Shelton with the load. I probably look like his mom or something. What one coach said, so I was watching numerous videos, doing incredible research. He was saying when you finish the serve, you need your dominant shoulder to be above your non-dominant shoulder. Your shoulders shouldn't be flattening out. True. He had his player laid on the ground, I think, serving to try and get this feeling. But for me, if you're tilting your shoulders and you're going up, you're throwing that elbow up and you're rotating and snapping it down, you're already going to be finishing with your dominant shoulder above your non-dominant shoulder. You might notice that I am pretty square to the court when I'm serving. I'm facing the court at the point of contact. Other guys will be more sideways. I don't think it's too much of a problem. My shoulders are also relatively flat because of that. If you're a little bit more sideways, you might get a little bit more of that shoulder over shoulder position at the point of contact. Again, Roddick's quite square at the point of contact. Always loved his serve. But other guys, there's a guy called the Wolf who is extremely sideways when he's serving. I don't think it matters too much. But it's important to point out that if I am going to hit a slice serve or a kick serve, I'm going to get more sideways because I need to have my swing path working on a different angle. If I'm hitting a slice serve, I'm going to stay sideways to come around it. Or if I'm hitting a kick serve, I'm going to stay facing this direction to be able to send my racket in that direction. And that's going to change my shoulder position. Let's give it a bash. All right, slice serve. Kick serve. Oh my goodness. That was the least athletic thing that's happened to me today. Thanks for watching the video, and if you're looking to develop smooth, efficient, and pain-free strokes, check out Effortless Tennis. I'm going to be covering every aspect of the game. Every time I put out a new video, the price will increase though. So get it while it's cheap. Thanks for watching.